Welcome back, history lovers. Today, we re-tackling one of the most chaotic and intriguing years in Roman history. The year of the four emperors, 69 CE in this year, four men would rise to the imperial throne, each one briefly holding power in a whirlwind of civil war, political intrigue, and military conflict. This crisis is a key turning point in the history of the Roman Empire, offering us insights into the fragility of imperial succession and the violent instability that often accompanies the transfer of power. So, let us journey back to 69 CE and dissect the events that led to the rise and fall of four emperors in just 1 year. To understand the year of the four emperors, we must first look at the political situation following the death of Emperor Nero. Nero, the last of the Julio-Claudian emperors, committed suicide in June of 68 CE. Under pressure from a growing rebellion in the provinces and his own loss of support from the Senate and the Praetorian Guard, with his death, the Julio-Claudian dynasty came to a tragic and ignoble end. This left a power vacuum in the Roman Empire, as there was no clear heir. At the time, Rome's imperial succession was not determined by any formal mechanism or system. Rather, it was an open-ended process that often depended on political maneuvering, military support, and Senate approval. In the wake of Nero's death, the lack of a clear line of succession led to immediate instability, and this would set the stage for the explosive events of 69 CE. The first emperor of the year 69 CE was Servius Sulpicius Galba, a general and governor of Hispania, modern-day Spain. Following Nero's death, Galba was proclaimed emperor by his own troops in Iberia. His rise to power was relatively quick, but his reign was deeply unpopular in Rome. Galba's ascent was largely due to military backing, but he lacked political savvy and alienated key groups. Upon arriving in Rome, he dismissed many of Nero's supporters, including the Praetorian Guard, which was essential to maintaining imperial power. Galba's refusal to pay the customary donative or gift to the soldiers also contributed to his unpopularity among the military. Galba's reign lasted only 6 months. He failed to secure the loyalty of both the Senate and the military, and his refusal to follow the expectations of Roman patronage created widespread resentment. In January of 69 CE, he was assassinated in a coup orchestrated by the Praetorian Guard with the support of a rival claimant to the throne Otho. Otho, a former ally of Nero and once Galba's supporter, quickly capitalized on Galba's unpopularity. After Galba's assassination, Otho was proclaimed emperor by the Praetorian Guard and moved to secure his rule. Initially, Otho appeared to have widespread support, but his reign was similarly short-lived. One of the key challenges Otho faced was the challenge posed by Vitellius, the governor of Lower Germany, who had his own ambitions for the throne. Vitellius, like Otho, had the backing of the legions stationed in the provinces, and his support quickly gained momentum. As Otho moved to confront him, the two armies met at the Battle of Bedriacum, a key engagement fought in April of 69 CE. The Battle of Bedriacum was a crucial moment in the Civil War, as Vitellius' forces decisively defeated Otho's army. With his military prospects shattered, Otho chose to commit suicide, marking the end of his brief reign. Vitellius was now the uncontested ruler of the Roman Empire. Vitellius' rule, however, was also marred by instability and chaos. While he was proclaimed emperor by his forces after the victory at Bedriacum, his reign was characterized by disorganization and poor leadership. Vitellius was seen by many as an ineffective ruler, focusing more on feasts and indulgences than on the affairs of state. His popularity with the soldiers of the Rhine legions did not translate into effective governance in Rome. In the east, another claimant to the throne emerged, Vespasian, the governor of Judea, who was leading a successful campaign against the Jewish revolt. Vespasian's popularity among the legions in the east was unmatched, and he began to gain more and more support. As the conflict between Vitellius and Vespasian escalated, Vitellius' position began to weaken. Vespasian's forces, led by his general Mucianus and supported by loyal legions, moved toward Italy. By December 69 CE, Vitellius was defeated in a second battle of Bedriacum, and his forces were crushed. Vitellius was captured and, in a final act of political violence, was executed by Vespasian's supporters. With Vitellius dead, Vespasian finally secured control of the Roman Empire. His rise to power marked the end of the year of the four emperors and the beginning of the Flavian dynasty. Vespasian's rule would bring stability to the empire after a year of bloody chaos. Vespasian's first priority was to consolidate his power and restore order to the empire. He implemented a series of financial reforms to stabilize the economy, focused on securing the loyalty of the military, and began rebuilding the empire's infrastructure. Vespasian also turned his attention to the ongoing Jewish war, which had begun under his command, and would eventually lead to the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem in 70 CE. Vespasian's reign, lasting from 69 to 79 CE, marked a return to stability. The Flavian dynasty he established would last until 96 CE, providing a degree of continuity that had been missing during the chaotic year of 69 CE. The Year of the Four Emperors remains a dramatic and defining moment in Roman history. It highlights the fragility of imperial power in the absence of clear succession rules and the way in which military might could determine the fate of an emperor. The year also exemplifies the dangers of political instability in the Roman Empire, which was frequently plagued by civil wars and power struggles. For Vespasian, the Year of the Four Emperors marked the beginning of a new era, one that would eventually see the establishment of the Pax Romana under his son, Titus, and his grandson, Domitian. The Flavian dynasty's focus on military stability and the rebuilding of Rome allowed the empire to recover from the turmoil of the previous years. The Year of the Four Emperors was not just a crisis, it was a microcosm of the political volatility that could, and did, shake the foundations of the Roman Empire. For emperors, countless battles and immense political and military upheaval in just 12 months. This tumultuous year reshaped the trajectory of Rome and set the stage for the rise of a more stable imperial system under the Flavians. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most fascinating chapters in Roman history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Roman Empire could have survived without the Flavian dynasty? Let's discuss.